Hi my friends, how are you? I hope everybody's fine. My name is Daniel Villarino. Welcome to my YouTube channel. A couple of years ago, back in July 2015, I uploaded a video in which I showed you how to make the maintenance of a chuck. And it was this big grizzly chuck that has 5.5 inches across, which is really useful for very large pieces, as you can see. But in terms of pieces that are smaller or medium size, I normally use the Easy Good chuck, which is this one. And the advantage that the Easy Good chuck has is that it has this wheel here that you can turn by hand, and as you can see, it opens and closes pretty fast, and you use the keys only to make the final tightening or to release the piece when it is ready. Now you can see now that it's operating very smoothly and without problems, but if you have been following my videos, the last ones, you probably have appreciated that I had to use the Allen key in order to make the whole movement because it was kind of stuck. So I decided to open it up and do some maintenance to see if there was dirt or something that was damaged inside, and do the maintenance and the lubrication of the piece. As you can see, it worked pretty well. Now it's working fine, but the disassembling of the chuck was not that trivial, and because of that I decided to upload this video to show you how to do it. So that's today's project. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to work. First, I will remove the set of jaws from the chuck. This is pretty easy since they are secured by a spring that when it is pressed will allow the quick release of the jaw. Each of the jaw supports are numbered. This is important because in the position number 4 we will find a security pin that avoids the supports from falling off if we open the chuck too much. It is convenient to align the pin with the hole in the wheel at the chuck's rear. Through the hole, we try to locate the other side of the pin perforation. There it is. It is the part where the light does not reflect. I file the point of a nail, and with it I will push the pin some. Here you can see a picture of the pin in the position of stopping the support and another push so that the support can go all the way out, which basically is what we want to do now. Now I can rotate the wheel until I remove completely the jaw supports. In the rear part of the chuck, keeping the wheel in place, there is an elastic circular safety that we have to remove. Here you can see the point of that safety. To remove it, I am going to use a flat screwdriver, trying to pry it from the groove where it is engaged. You can see that I have removed the tip of the circular spring, and now, with my fingers, following the circle, I will disengage the rest until it is completely free. There are a couple of plastic washers that I also remove. At this point the wheel is free. I remove it, and with it also will come out the O-ring. In the inside, the wheel has a crown gear that will act on the pinions of the gear system. We remove the joint that separated the chuck body from the wheel. We can see now that each pinion has a safety pin to keep them in place. To remove these pinions, first we have to remove these pins. These pins are simply placed in perforations in the chuck body, so with a few shakes, by inertia, they should come out. The pins have poked out enough to be able to gingerly take them with some tweezers and remove them completely. Now the pinions are free and we can remove them easily. We can now see in the bottom of the chuck body another crown gear which, on the other face, has the chuck's self-centering spiral or scroll. Removing this crown gear, we have completed the disassembling of the chuck. Now I can clean the mechanisms. To do that, I will use a small wire brush wheel and my Dremel tool. We clean well all the teeth, the spiral and all surfaces. When I disassemble the chuck to repair it, I clean everything at that moment, so now I am just showing what I did. This is a good opportunity to see if anything is damaged. In my case, besides the dirt, the scroll wheel had a problem of getting stuck. After inspecting well, I realized that on the spiral side, where the spiral begins, there were a few small dents that probably were made during a catch. Actually, when I first disassembled the chuck, I had to use a small wooden dowel and a mallet to be able to remove the crown from the chuck body. I sanded the damaged part until the surface was really smooth, and the crown will fit in the chuck body without the need to force it, and that solved the issue. We repeat the process of cleaning for the rear wheel and its crown gear. I also clean each pinion gear. Here I show the part of the scroll that had the dents and how I sanded it to smooth it. To lubricate the internal gears of the chuck, I will use Vaseline. After a lot of research, I contacted Easy Good Tools customer service, the maker of the Easy Chuck, and they were really kind in their answer and told me that effectively they use Vaseline in the lubrication of their chucks. To lubricate, I will smear a layer of Vaseline in all the teeth of the crown gears as well as the pinion gears, since there is where most of the metal against metal contact occurs. To reassemble, I begin by placing the crown gear with the spiral inside the body of the chuck. The crown gear has to be placed so the teeth are towards the chuck inside. I put in one pinion, I secure it with a safety emplacement pin. And I do the same with the other pinion gear. With the hexagonal key, I test that everything is working fine. The joint has 3 perforations. I make sure when placing it that these perforations match the positions of the ones in the chuck body. I put in the rear wheel with the teeth of the crown towards the chuck's inside. I clean the O-ring with a piece of paper and I place it in the corresponding groove. I clean and place both plastic washers over the O-ring. I locate the tip of the circular spring safety and with a nail I raise it a bit. I introduce the tip that I have separated into the groove in the central part of the chuck's body and I make sure that it engages there. With the finger I press the length of the spring little by little so it will continue fitting inside the groove. The spring-own strength will make it to keep fitting in the right place, and when we press the last portion it will snap completely into the groove. The jaw supports are all different. Number 1 has the teeth that fit in the spiral farther to the front than the ones for number 2. Support number 2 has them farther to the front than the ones for number 3. And support number 3 has them farther to the front than the ones for number 4. This displacement is needed so that the spiral will keep them always at the same distance from the center. Besides, we can see that the support number 4 has an additional difference. There is a groove in 2 of the teeth that allows the movement of the support over the security pin, until that pin will hit the teeth at the point A, and from there it will not allow the supports to move and be released from the chuck body. To put the first support, we locate the place in the chuck's body that is marked with the number 1, and we select the support that also has the number 1. We rotate the scroll until we see that appears the beginning of the spiral in the position number 1. We rotate in reverse just a little until we see the beginning of the spiral disappear. Then we place support number 1 in its groove in the chuck's mandril and rotate the wheel just a quarter of a turn so that the spiral engages in the first tooth of the support. With that quarter of a turn that we just did, the beginning of the spiral should be appearing in the chuck's body groove marked with the number 2. We make sure that it is that way and we rotate just a bit in reverse until the beginning of the spiral just disappears. We take support number 2, we place it in the chuck's body groove number 2 and we rotate the wheel another quarter of a turn so that the spiral will engage in this new support. With this new quarter of a turn, the beginning of the spiral will be appearing in the position number 3. We verify that this is the case and then we rotate a hair in reverse just until it disappears. We place support number 3 in its groove and we rotate once more a quarter of a turn. The spiral will now appear in position number 4. Here you can see it from a different angle. We place support number 4 in its place and we can now rotate several turns until all the supports will meet at the center. If we did everything in the correct way, they will meet there. However, if one of them did not reach the center, it is because it did not engage in the correct position. So we need to remove them one by one until we reach the one that it is wrong and start again from that point. It only remains to locate through the wheel perforation the security pin and push it enough so that it will not allow the supports to get all the way out of the grooves. You can see that the pin is proud just enough to pass below the groove in the support number 4, and also that the supports can now be opened only up to a certain point. We can now put the jaws we want to use, and the chuck will be ready to support a piece. Okay, my friends, I finished disassembling, cleaning and assembling back again the easy good chuck, and as you can see, now it works really well without any stumps or anything like that. So as you could see, at some point I show where I had to sand a bit the internal gear, because there was a small dent there that it seems it was the one that was making the problem. It was not that much dirt as that particular dent. Once I assembled it back, it worked really well. Okay, you will have to cut me some slack here, because in some parts of the video probably you will notice some inconsistencies. Like for example, when I was assembling the chuck, I show you the pieces that are without any lubrication, but then I show the lubrication of the chuck using the Vaseline, and then probably another part of the video where again there is no lubrication. The thing is that when I did the video for the first time and I began the editing, I made a lot of research on the internet in different forums for good turning and also for mechanical turning, about what type of lubricants they use inside these type of chucks. And there were so many different versions that some swear for one and some swear for another. Some say that because these kind of gears operate either by hand or using just a key, and they are not being forced by an engine, then there is no need for any lubrication. Some say that you can use solid graphite to lubricate, like dust of graphite, or some sort of grease, like gear grease, or even graphited grease, or lithium grease, which is kind of whitish. And that one is actually the one that I thought it had inside the first time that I opened it, because it was a little whitish. And when I was doing all this research at the same time, I sent an email to Easy Good Tools customer service, asking them basically what type of lubricant they use, and they told me that effectively it was Vaseline. So that's the reason why I use Vaseline for the lubrication of the chuck during the video, and let's see what happens in the future with that selection. Now, if you allow me, I would like to show you some pictures that were sent by the subscribers of the channel. Lucas from Montevideo, Uruguay, made several bowls with pine wood. Well done, Lucas. Juan, from Chile, made these segmented bowls with larch and manure. Nice job, Juan. Pedro, from Murcia, Spain, made this box with finial in apricot wood. Very nice, Pedro. And Francisco, from La Mancha, Spain, made this box with the shape of a stew pot in red eucalyptus with walnut lid. Beautiful box, Francisco. Okay, I hope you enjoyed these pictures. I also hope you enjoyed this video. If that's the case, please mark the like button below and also make comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. And it will be until the next one. Cheers!